Oh, hello. You caught me, well, I could say working, but I'm staring at a strange screensaver, really. So with with no further ado, not much further ado, let's take a job. Ooh, have I gone over a limit? There's only one job that's limited by experience now. Brake system needs fixing. What is a fancy looking colour? Bolt Reptilia. It's a fairly easy looking job. Oh yeah, it's not a great colour, but it's by no means terrible. The last car we had in here, previous job, was a very horrible, not to swear about, brown colour. Oh god, look at the interior. There's a weird looking gear knob, look. The interiors do look a bit too smooth and plasticky, but you know, it's supposed to be a simulator after all. Right. Clutch plate, pressure plate and flywheel, so I'm going to assume that this is a rear wheel drive, and I'll need to detach the drive shaft. But first we'll take off the starter motor. The starter motor is accessible from under the car. Oh, that's unusual. Well, it's nice that they made it different for some of these models, because in the previous game there was a lot that was very similar for all the different models, even the sports or fancy cars compared to the really cheap cars that have everything built the same way in the engine. So it's nice that they've done it differently. Let's give them props. Props where they're due. I mean, I might have it on low texture. I don't know, I haven't got on high textures, but texturing on the rust is a bit... Anyway, it's not all about the looks. What am I doing? Oh yes. It's about the remembering. Starter motor, there it is, right in my face. Let's try and zoom out and in again, that's helpful. And then I have to take off the crank shaft, drive shaft even, with its 8 bolts, I remember. You have to do the long arm bolting. Swing round, do it from the other side. Those cars actually got a shorter crank shaft than I'm used to, so that's worth mumbling about. Good. That's the gearbox off. 6 bolts. And let's look at this rusty crap in here. The release bearings are the shiny part. 54% is only just good, isn't it? And that. And the flywheel as well. Yeah, the whole bloody cafoodle. Cafoodle? That's a word. Right, so now we can just pull up the tablet, remember? I'd forgotten, I'm just reminding myself. And buy those things that I've already forgotten. Oh. Clutch plate, pressure plate, flywheel. Clutch plate, pressure plate, flywheel. I really wish it didn't fluff out the rest of the screen when you clicked on something. Grr. Anyway, okay, good. So then we go into putting it back on mode. That's the official term for it. And hold right click and then tap left click. That does the job for us. And then occasionally we have to bolt something in. There we go. And the little thing that holds it together. And then the big thing that holds all that together. 47%, eh? Yeah, it's a bit close to the end. Up, starter motor, which we have to do under here. Usually you have to put it back down on the ground before you put the starter motor on. It's quite nice that you can do it all at the same time. No, it's the drive shaft even. That's right, I'm going to hide behind the shock absorber over here and do them. Yes. Yes, stay on screen when I wobble you around. Okay, well that was relatively straightforward. Quite a nice looking car. Get it out of my shop. Alright, so that was quick and easy. Let's do another one. Car is loud. I can't do that. Oh, there's another limit now, look. Oh well. This looks like a relatively simple job, although brakes can be extensive problems. Oh. Oh, yes. Loud green. Let's get it straight onto a lifter. You can see this is a brake problem corner. Okay, does it list the parts? No. Okay, so we've got to look for the parts. Well, they all look okay to me, so I'm leaving that corner. I could take it for a test drive, but it seriously takes almost a minute to load each way. Well, a bit less to load up the test track, and about a minute to load back into the garage. Who's got the time? I mean, you know, I edit it out of the... oh, there's something rusty underneath there? No. I edit it out of the video, but... so you don't have to suffer. But, you know... load times, man. Bane of our existence in the internet era. Okay, that's all those parts. Nothing else obviously looks like it needs work. Oop. Oh yeah, there's a dead brake corner. Yeah, caliper, pads and disc all look like they need replacing. So that probably is everything. No. Ah, 2 parts left. Suspicion lies under the hood. The electronics for the brakes. Yeah, here we go. So that's at 0%. That probably isn't working very well. And that's at 26%. Good, so now we can pull up our tablet. Click on brakes. And buy a module and a pump. And several other parts. Rather than just guessing, let's go with 3 calipers, 2 discs and a pad. 3 calipers, 2 discs and a pad. 3 calipers, 2 discs and a pad. Alright. And let's fit all the corners. Oh no, we can do this bit first. That's why I was here, isn't it? Oh yeah. Fancy brand new pump with a module to control it. Marry them together with their bolty glue. That's right, bolty glue. That sounds like the name of something out of Eastern Europe. Ah, try new bolty glue. It makes things stick. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably not doing myself any services by being Eastern Europeanist. Although I'm not being... anyway. Yeah, mumbling, digging myself into a mumble hole. So I'm going to stop right there. What do I need to put on here? Oh yes, press 2 and it'll tell me. Good grief. Alright. There we go. And then that's the exciting corner. Let's do the other corner first. And a wheel on top. Ah yeah. Right. And this one needed a bit of everything. Brake disc, brake pads, brake caliper. All new. So this corner of the car will stop instantly when he pushes the brake pedal, and all the other corners will be like, do we really have to stop? What, now? You want to stop now? Okay, there we go. Another really quick job. Oh no, I can't press O when you're too far away from it. Oh, it's a crappy feature. Alright. Whipping through them. What else we got? Car is loud. Why can't I take that job? That's just an exhaust job. All these other jobs look really complicated. It's a bit of a strange system, that. Still. Right, so do we have to discover much? Yes. Discover it all. Alright, let's get it on lift up. All this running gear sloppiness. It's got to be suspension. It's just, is it even worth looking? No, not really. Let's get these wheels off. Alright, this is a mess. That one needs replacing. Looks like the steering rack needs replacing. Sway bar doesn't look great. I can't... oh, I have to take it off underneath. Around that. Is that something I can take off? No, rubber bushing gig. So if I go into examine mode, can I examine this? Oh, I have to be underneath to examine it. That's a bit odd. Whatevs. %. I wonder what the low limit is on this. 49. Right. So now I should be able to take the steering rack out when I'm underneath. That looks like the exhaust problem. The rest of this looks tasty, you know, looks really good condition. Whoops. Thought I'd clicked on it then. There we go. I can't tell if that's knackered or not. No. Put it back on. There's not much on the back suspension, is there? For it sort of to go wrong. There's the leaf springs, they seem fine on that side. Nah, there we go, that one's a bit knackered. So I have to put the car up in the air. The button only on this side. I'm lazy enough that I'd probably ask for a button to be put on the other side as well, because that's just how I roll. Alright. Does this look like it needs taking off as well? It does a bit, doesn't it? How many are we missing parts still? We are, okay. That was 17%, so yeah, that definitely needed fixing. Okay. That needs replacing. Oh yeah, the steering rack as well. And also this bottom suspension arm. That might be all the suspension-y bits. Let's have a check. Nope, missing one. Found that. I have not looked in the exhaust yet. So there's still a running gear missing now. Dollars to donuts, as a saying, of course, that it's a bushing. It's hard to look. You can't see the bushings very easily from the cars up on the lifter, which is a bit irritating. Because, like, see this, you know, if I can't really tell, I can't look from underneath. There's just a flat plate blocking access. So they all seem sort of okay, such as they are. This is this sway bar front end that needs replacing. Oh, can I examine it from under here at least? Yellow. What does that mean? 56%. That seems fine. Can be examined on test path. What, I can't just look at it. Yeah. As they say, in places that they need to think about things. That's the front. It's weird because it remembers where you accessed the car, so when you come out, even if you're looking at the front by that point, you come out at the back, say, if that's where you entered the car internal part. What about these bushes at the back? They look alright, don't they? Relatively speaking. Oh, leaf spring on that side's fine. Yeah, this arm thing's fine. Double check I haven't actually. No, it's definitely a part I haven't discovered. It's not magicked itself into existence. It's not an outer tie rod I've not spotted. There isn't one on this side anymore. If I find it, I was wondering if I should take the bushings out and look at them. 49. Was that? Oh, that's right on the cusp, but it's not the part I needed because it would have highlit. But it's right on the money. Oops. What if it's one of these wishbone-y bits? I set the one off on the other side, didn't I? Yeah, so it's not that one. Can I examine it? No. Oops, didn't mean to click out. Springs at 51%. What's at that? 54%. So it wasn't that. Oh. Let's take that rubber bushing out. How strange. Huh. Answers on a postcard, I guess. What could it be? Do 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 do. Maybe it's part of like a hub. Ah, yeah. I remember last time I had this problem. It was like a hub on one of the back wheels, which I've not really experienced before. Let's have a quick look at these. Ah, there you go. Look, it's an axle, not a hub. That's what I meant. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. There we go. Job done. Well, you know, sort of. Apart from the having done it all. So, middle muffler. Middle muffler. And then this, bottom suspension arm. Bottom suspension arm, okay. Double wishbone shock absorber. Double wishbone shock absorber. Front shock absorber cap. Front shock absorber cap. Leaf spring plate and U-bolt. Leaf spring plate and U-bolt. Oops. Outer tie rod. Solid rear something or other. Solid rear drive axle, that's the one. And finally, a steering rack. Ooh, yes. Okay, so we can put all those Pete's back in. Pete's. That's a word. One brake drum. And one wheel. Oh yeah. Said slightly tremulously. And then we need to be underneath, we need to put on things like leaf spring plate and the U-bolts to go with it. U-bolt. That's right. Oop. There we go. Okay, I don't think there's much else on the rear that needed sorting out for the exhaust, for the saying exhaust, so I'm looking at it now. Nothing else on the rear suspension, I don't think, but you know, probably wrong. Alright, so we've got a steering rack, a suspension arm, tie rods. Oh, that's a tie rod. Yes, sticking it all back on. Hang on. I'll put this back on. Double wishbone doodad. Its nav spring. And a little jaunty hat. And a sway bar. Yes. And now you can have a wheel. Oh yeah. Right, so last side for suspension-y parts. So we've put on the steering rack, so this side's tie rod and outer tie rod. And didn't need on the sway bar, didn't take that off. Okay, looks like it all. It just doesn't feel like it because it took so long to find the final thing. Yeah, but that is all of it. So just the gearbox issues now. Let's have a look. What? I didn't even check what. Is it a rear axle jobber? It is. So I need to take off the camshaft, drive shaft. Oh, we've got the wrong bloody thing. Yeah. Can we take it off? There we go. That's right. Special extension to reach all the way down the other end of the engine. The other end of the car. You know, when you're sort of half concentrating what you're doing and half concentrating on something else, and neither comes out right. And we have to do that from the engine bay. Irritation. Got a nice front end to the car. Alright, start a motor, give yourself to me. Okay, and then back in the air. Because it just doesn't care. And then we can whip off the exhaust. Not the exhaust, we've done that. Gearbox. Did I mention about how I was only half concentrating on what I was saying and half concentrating on what I was doing? That's why I go so quiet when it gets a bit tricky. Right, there's your thingy. Right, clutch plate. Yes, that definitely needs replacing. Is that it? The thing underneath the flywheel looks a little bit dead, so that should be all the parts for it though. Yeah, clutch pressure plate and a flywheel. Clutch pressure plate, yes, and a flywheel. There it is, the thing that says flywheel next to it, strangely enough. Okay, there we go, fancy new flywheel. Old clutch plate, new clutch pressure plate. There we go. Oh yeah, and the bearing. Oops, no. There we go, bearing. And then the box itself. Bolty, 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 bolty. Oh, let's stick the... if we can, stick the drive shaft on while we're here. Go on, give me a bit of highlighting. Let's walk down the exhaust. There we go. It's in my back pocket usually, that extension, which makes it a bit awkward walking around the garage. It keeps banging on everything. Got a 3-metre extension in your back pocket. No, I'm just pleased to see you. So, back on the ground, well, almost on the ground. And then we can wedge the starter motor back in. It's the technical term. Oh, it's doing this thing where you can't, it doesn't think you can see it. Easy to confuse. There we go. Go back out and in. Turn it off and on again. Okay, that, I believe, is the end of that. Alright, it's a bit more complicated, making a slightly longer video with the 2 earlier jobs. Oh, I have to actually OK the job, of course. Yes, and it was OK. Awesome. So we've got lots of money. We've got 5,000 experience now. Ooh, there's a thing we can do. Oh, no, it's money. Did we have to have the money before we could unlock it? What's the other option? Path test for 15 grand. I can never remember what all these things cost. What was this? It was ridiculously expensive, wasn't it? Oh no, 9,000 XP. Alright, so we could probably unlock one or both of these next time. Well, one. Or both. No. But I'll make that decision next time, or, you know, forget. So thanks for watching, and come back next time. For me, it's back to the work of tapping on my computer, pretending to do some work. Tap, 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 tap. Bye.